Everybody loves dads, stories, and the Marine Corps. What could be better than Marine Corps dads who tell stories? Here's another story with veteran storyteller John Sugar Jr., a Marine Corps dad.
Tonight, we're going to tell the story of the man who punched trees. Once upon a time, there was a man who liked to punch trees. Now, on the surface, this seems like a very strange habit to be in the habit of. For one does not walk down the road and lightly see a man into a tree. And yet this individual, Leslie, would punch trees because he saw on a movie one time that a black belt in karate punches trees to get tough. Leslie was not a black belt in karate. Leslie was a fat dude. Leslie was not a black belt in karate. And so he would punch the tree. And he'd kick it the way they did in the movie. And Leslie would go back into his house and stand in front of a mirror. And he would go, "Yeah! Oh yeah!" He would flex in front of the mirror for hours at a time after he punched the tree. What Leslie did not know was that tree had friends. That night, Leslie was in his bed. Branches swayed outside of his window, and the wind blew. And you can hear the creaking of the branches. Leslie is not a brave person. This is why Leslie wanted to be tough. So Leslie lay in his bed with his blanket up his neck and his teddy bear under his arm. Teddy bear had a black belt. Okay? And he saw the branches. He was like, man, so glad I'm not afraid of branches. And he spent so long looking at the branches outside of his window, he didn't see the trees who'd walked in his room. Yeah.
Tree beer.
And he was like, what was that? And Leslie saw 3 different trees walk into his room. They bent down low to get through the doorway, and they stood around his bed looking down at him. Leslie, laying in his bed with his teddy bear under his arm and his blanket up to his neck, said, "Yeah?" And the trees said, "You the one that's been punching Larry?" Larry? I don't know Larry. Didn't even bother to learn his name. You were out there for an hour today, just punching him. And they showed him photos. Did you know trees could take photos?
No.
Their little leaves, angled. And Leslie didn't even know. The birds told these trees what had happened. And Leslie was like, what's gonna happen to me? And they said, you like to punch trees? Let's see what happens when the trees punch back. And Leslie said, "Ah!" And the first one got him. And another one kicked him. Another one smacked him across the face with its branches. Ah! And Leslie tried to hide under his blanket. And it didn't work. Because a tree picked up a log the middle of the bed, and Leslie would... Suffice it to say, Leslie did not have a good night. And when Leslie staggered out of bed the next day, he was all sore. And as he walked outside, he saw the trees. And he said, "Nice trees." And they waved their little branches at him. And the squirrel in one of those trees narrowed its eyes. And Leslie never punched a tree again for as long as he lived, which wasn't that long, because one day Larry tripped and headbutted a tree. Do you know what it's like when a tree headbutts you? Leslie died. The end.
That was another story with John Sugar Jr., a Marine Corps dad. Check the show notes for links to his Patreon and website at creativegrumbles.com.